Interrogating or examining a witness is a crucial part of the trial process. It involves questioning witnesses to elicit pertinent information, challenge their credibility, and support the lawyer's case. 1. Direct examination, i.e. A. Purpose. Elicit testimony. The purpose of direct examination is to elicit favorable information from the witness to support the case. Establish credibility. Establish the credibility and reliability of the witness. B. Approach I. Preparation. Pre-trial interview. Lawyers usually conduct a pre-trial interview with the witness to understand their testimony and ensure they are well prepared. Outline questions. Prepare an outline of questions to ensure all relevant points are covered. I. Open-ended questions. Open-ended questioning. Ask open-ended questions that encourage the witness to provide detailed responses. Example: can you describe what you saw on the night of the incident? Instead of, did you see the defendant hit the victim? T. Building a narrative logical sequence. Arrange questions in a logical order that builds a clear and coherent narrative. Foundational questions. Start with foundational questions to establish the witness's background and qualifications before moving to the key facts of the case. C. Techniques, i.e. non-leading questions. Definition. Avoid leading questions that suggest the answer. Leading questions are typically not allowed during direct examination. Example: asking, what time did you arrive at the scene? Instead of, you arrived at the scene at 8 p.m., correct? T. Clarification and detail. Clarify ambiguities. If the witness's response is unclear or ambiguous, ask follow-up questions to clarify and obtain specific details. Encourage elaboration. Prompt the witness to elaborate on their responses for a comprehensive account. T. Positive reinforcement. Affirmation. Use positive reinforcement to encourage the witness and build their confidence. This can be done through nodding, affirming words, or a friendly demeanor. D. Example. Questions. Background. Please state your name and occupation for the record. Event description. What happened after you arrived at the scene? Detailed inquiry. Can you describe the appearance of the suspect? 2. Cross-examination. A. Purpose challenge. Credibility. The purpose of cross-examination is to challenge the credibility, accuracy, and reliability of the witness's testimony. Expose inconsistencies. Highlight any inconsistencies or weaknesses in the witness's statements. B. Approach, i.e. preparation. Thorough review. Review the witness's prior statements, direct testimony, and any relevant evidence to identify areas for challenge. Strategic plan. Develop a strategic plan focusing on key points to undermine the witness's credibility. So, closed-ended questions. Closed-ended questioning. Ask closed-ended questions that generally require a yes or no answer to control the witness's responses and limit their ability to elaborate. Example: isn't it true that you were not at the scene until after the incident occurred? Instead of, when did you arrive at the scene? C. Techniques I. Leading questions. Definition. Use leading questions that suggest the answer within the question. Leading questions are typically allowed during cross-examination. Example: you didn't see the defendant with a weapon, did you? D. Impeachment. Prior inconsistent statements. Impeach the witness by presenting prior inconsistent statements to show contradictions in their testimony. Bias and motivation. Highlight any potential biases, motivations, or interests that may affect the witness's credibility. Direct, pointed and focused questions. Precision. Ask concise and focused questions to control the examination and keep the witness on topic. Discourage rambling. Avoid allowing the witness to provide lengthy or narrative answers that could sidestep the intended point. D. Example. Questions. Inconsistency. Earlier, you testified that you arrived at 8 p.m., but in your statement to the police, you said you arrived at 9 p.m., which is correct. Bias. Isn't it true that you have a personal relationship with the plaintiff? Observation challenge. You mentioned seeing the defendant's face clearly, yet you were standing 50 meters away in the dark. How could you be certain? 3. Redirect examination. A purpose. Clarify and rehabilitate. The purpose of redirect examination is to clarify any points raised during cross-examination and rehabilitate the witness's credibility. B. Approach. I. Focused questions. Address key issues. Ask focused questions to address specific issues or contradictions highlighted during cross-examination. Limit scope. Redirect questions should be limited to matters raised during cross-examination.